and a huge night for your career as well.
Massive night for my career. So yeah, victorious 100%. That's my goal, that's my plan, and that's my motivation. So yeah, looking forward to it. Respect to the team. May the best man.
Well, my thoughts on it is that JakePaul's had a lot of accusations over the years for a guy who's had no amateur fights. What's he had, about 10 or 12 fights? I'm not sure what he's had. And, you know, you look at the opposition he's had and people saying, when's he going to fight somebody? He stepped up. He's stepping up to a two-time world champion, a genuine heavyweight, a proper heavyweight champion, and an active fighter. And this is a big moment.
On December 19th, Netflix brings you Jake Paul going up against Anthony Joshua, 8 rounds, each 3 minutes long. This finally shuts down everyone claiming Jake only chooses opponents smaller than him.
AJ is 6'6", 250. Even if AJ just wants to keep him on the end of a jab, look at the reach. He's got a 6-inch reach on Jake, and trust me, the Chloe concept has told me the 6 inches is more than enough, okay? So that's gonna be a problem. Again, not even talking about the fact that AJ is more dangerous with just his power, but the jab, the reach, the extent, turnover of the right hand, he's going to be able to hit Jake at range. Jake can't even hit him. 43 amateur fights, 32 pro fights. He's 28-4. He's an Olympian. He's a gold medalist. He's won the world title. Delusional, yes. Very rich, yes. It's insane.
People demanded he face someone equal in size and experience. Well, here it is. He's stepping forward against a former 2-time world champion. Professional rules apply. Joshua must stay under 245 pounds, despite crossing 250 recently, and both fighters will wear regular 10-ounce boxing gloves.
If Anthony Joshua wants to turn up and just make it look like an exhibition, I don't know what that helps Anthony Joshua do besides get a big paycheck. If that's all he needs and that's all he wants, given the fact that he's been demolished by Daniel Dubois in his most recent fight, I thought Anthony was built of sterner stuff than that.
But many people just want to see Joshua back in a ring, Simon. But they want to see him fight again.
Well, they want to. No, they don't. They want to see him fight a legitimate fighter. They want to see if Anthony Joshua is now done. They want to see if Anthony Joshua being destroyed by Daniel Dubois is the end of the golden boy journey that apparently rebooted British boxing.
This isn't a gimmick. It's a real, dangerous heavyweight showdown that's exploded into a major event. Mark the calendar. Their first media appearance is set for November 21st. The pressure is already rising. Joshua must cut weight without losing power or speed. For me.
To me, it shows me his desire. Pick up 50 million along the way. Nobody can knock him for this. This is now business. This is business. For Jake Paul, absolutely crazy. Jake Paul is a domestic level professional fighter here in the UK. Would he win a British title? No, I don't think so.
Jake must close the skill gap and handle the size difference. Every training move matters now more than ever. This isn't just money or headlines, it's strategic warfare with fists, and we're witnessing the early stages. The wild part? Fans are completely split. Some cheer for Jake as a game changer, praising his bravery for challenging a heavyweight monster like Joshua, saying boxing hasn't seen this kind of bold move in ages.
100% respect to Jake Paul, but that's a dangerous fight for him. He probably gets knocked out, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not saying nothing bad, but Anthony Joshua is Anthony Joshua. You know, he's multiple-time champion, Olympic gold medalist. You know what I mean? The last time somebody stepped in the ring with him that didn't have that much boxing experience was Ngannou, and you seen what happened to him. Yeah. But big respects to Jake Paul. It's gonna be a good card. You know what I mean? It's a big fight, and it's a good fight, man. I give 100% respect to Jake Paul for even taking.
On the other hand, many think Jake's lost his mind, questioning who casually decides over breakfast to fight a 6 feet 6 inches former unified heavyweight champion. The truth is, you don't pick Anthony Joshua unless you're either unbelievably brave or totally detached from common sense. But this clash, respect versus shock, courage versus recklessness, is exactly why the fight has everyone glued to updates, arguing non-stop, and checking news like it's boxing's final chapter.
Oh, don't count him out. You know, I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, you know, we could have a big upset, you know. But I think that AJ is too much for Jake Paul at this point, and he's bigger than Jake Paul, in my opinion.
Do you think it's competitive? A lot of people are saying if AJ doesn't get him out of there in 2 rounds, it'll be a huge embarrassment.
I don't think that's not the case, that he's gonna get Jake Paul. At the end of the day, Jake Paul has been training hard too, and you know, he's a pretty good fighter. I don't think he would take him out in 2.
Just when it seemed analysts couldn't be more stunned, David Haye showed up with reactions sharp enough to slice through Joshua's training gear. His response made it sound like someone announced Jake Paul was challenging a runaway train. He's reacting like, hold on, this is real. Not staged, not comedy. And honestly, we're all thinking the same, you, me, everyone. We're watching Joshua prepare like he switched the challenge mode to maximum, while Jake tries to prove he's ready for heavyweight chaos. And Hay didn't hold back at all.
Derek said yesterday that he could see Jake leaving in an ambulance. Do you think it's that dangerous of a fight for Jake?
I think this fight, if you get knocked out, there's one thing, Ngannou getting knocked out with one shot, he's a big man. When you get hit by someone like Anthony Joshua, it's gonna put you out, and if you get put out, likelihood is you might need to go to the hospital to get a brain scan. Hopefully this isn't the case. He's not going to be dehydrated because it's a heavyweight. I think it'd be more of a quick explosive.
He basically claimed Jake's hardest punch would bounce off Joshua like a pebble hitting armor, and Joshua's return shot might have Jake searching for emergency rooms online. Yet here's the wild part. Hay still respects the decision, because choosing Joshua is like skipping every normal ride and saying, no, give me the one that flips backward over shark-infested water. It's boldness, strategy, madness, hype, maybe all of it together. Whether you admire Jake's courage or think he's creating 2024's biggest shock moment, Hay's point remains. Joshua risks nothing, Jake risks everything, and we're watching a spectacle nobody predicted, but everyone is tuning in for.
It's a no-win situation. There's nothing he's done in any of his previous fights where you can say, well, if he does this, that's going to work against Anthony Joshua. I think Jake Paul's best shot bounces off Anthony Joshua, and I think the opposite isn't the case. I think AJ gets him out of there very comfortably, and he'll get paid probably one of his highest paychecks ever. So it's I think it's a no-lose situation for Anthony Joshua. It's an easy night's work for a lot of profile.
Right after David Hayes' explosive reaction, Gareth A. Davies steps in with a brutally direct take. For Joshua, this is money, not a legacy rebuilding mission. The confirmed rules: 8 3-minute rounds, 10-ounce gloves, Joshua capped at 245 pounds. Lock this in as an official heavyweight fight, which makes it serious. It kills the just sparring excuse and puts real pressure on Joshua to finish strongly. Garrett's main point? If Joshua doesn't end Jake quickly, preferably before round 2, his reputation takes a hit. And he's right. It's harsh but true. Finish fast and Joshua earns a paycheck plus US spotlight. Struggle to stop Jake and the internet erupts. People know commissions and purists are complaining, but money leads, and this screams revenue. Bottom line, massive reward with obvious risk, and everyone's watching the clock the moment Joshua enters the ring.
It is 10-ounce gloves, it is a boxing match, it's not an exhibition. This isn't a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. This is one of the most dangerous finishers in the world, who is probably 5 levels above Jake Paul and a weight division above him. I think it's irresponsible to let those two in a ring together in a proper boxing match. That's my view. It doesn't damage his bank balance, but if he earns $70 million US for this.
Now shift to Chris Mannix. He gives Jake undeniable credit. This guy went from planning 135-pound exhibitions to training as a cruiserweight to heavyweight in a matter of weeks, switching partners and completing full heavyweight prep in Puerto Rico. Mannix highlights that Jake isn't just internet famous, he's handled massive stadium pressure before. Remember the 125 million viewers? And he throws a precise right hand. Still, Mannix stays realistic. This is about a believable upset, not a likely win. A miracle knockout is possible, just not probable. The truth is brutal. Joshua must dominate early to silence critics and protect his name. Jake must pull off the impossible through timing, strategy, and one perfect connection. You, me, everyone. We're hooked because it's equal parts entertainment and calculated danger. Expect fireworks, expect debates, and expect conversations long after the final bell.
There's a bit of a cat and mouse game in the first round. Jake could get knocked down in the first round and get up. Second round gets obliterated in the same way that Francis Ngannou gets obliterated. Enormous credit to Jake Paul for this, who is putting together the most unique box rec in professional boxing history. Nate Diaz is on his box rec. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is on his box rec. Mike Tyson is on his box rec. And come December 19th, Anthony Joshua is going to be on his box rec.
And Anderson Silva, remember?
Anderson Silva, one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. Ridiculous.
And rolling straight from Garrett's pressure breakdown into Mannix's miracle shot angle, we blast into Derek Chizora's viewpoint. He jumps in like someone handed him a microphone and a can of gasoline. Chisora hears about Joshua versus JakePaul and doesn't blink. He starts talking like he already bet on first-round destruction. While we're analyzing strategy and reputation, Chisora says, "Forget all that. I want chaos. I want mayhem. I want someone calling their insurance." And his praise for Jake? He talks like Jake materialized this fight purely through determination. Then Chisora switches gears and practically warns Joshua, "If this goes past 5 rounds, we're roasting you forever." And honestly, he's not wrong. You, me, the whole internet, will mock Joshua if this turns into a distance fight. When he says Joshua could drop Jake by exhaling near him, I nearly cried laughing. That's how certain he is.
Not a game, because I want to see some blood. I want to see somebody's teeth falling out. So I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony, I said, listen, I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's going to be having a go at you, because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. It has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, you know, people are going to be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
Chisora's already planning his Miami trip like he's attending a demolition instead of a boxing match. And the wild part? Even though he sounds extreme, he's saying what half the boxing world thinks but avoids tweeting late at night. So gear up. If Gareth laid out the consequences and Mannix explained the odds, Chisora just delivered the uncensored street version, and it's incredible. After everything we've covered, here's the truth. This fight goes beyond competition, it's a defining clash. A collision that only happens when fame, risk, chaos, and boxing collide inside the same ring. Joshua fights for pride, legacy, and authority. Jake fights for legitimacy, continuation, and proving the world wrong. And everyone else? We're locked in, snacks ready, watching 2 different universes smash together under maximum spotlight. No matter who you support, one thing's certain. December 19th will fuel boxing debates for months.
I'm happy. I'm so happy for AJ because he's doing this for himself. And you have to understand, you have to give so much respect to JakePaul. You know, whatever he says, he makes it happen. You know, before he was like he wants to fight Anthony Joshua and people were laughing at him. And then suddenly it's happened and people are like, wow, what's going on here? You know, so kudos to that kid, man. He's very good at promoting everything.
Now dive into the comments and share what you think. Is JakePaul reshaping the sport or signing his own downfall? Is Joshua fighting seriously or just collecting checks? Who wins and who gets exposed? What's the real story when that first bell rings? Hit the like button, share this breakdown, and subscribe.